Welcome to Daily Devo. I'm Pat. Today we're going to talk about stop it. In our high calling as Jesus followers, God has graciously granted us to be co-creators, co-redeemers, co-workers with Him. Isn't that amazing? That the all-powerful, all-knowing creator and sustainer of the universe would invite you and I to be part of His work in redemption of this world. Wow! He's given us so many different roles and responsibilities. But one role and responsibility that He has not given us, but far, far too often we attempt to take, is what I might call the junior Holy Spirit role. The first part of Romans chapter 14, verse 13 simply states, so let's stop condemning each other. So let's stop condemning each other. This chapter in Romans is predominantly dealing with what we might call gray areas. They are areas of our lives that may be disputable between each other. These gray areas or issues are not essentials like salvation or Jesus or sin. These gray areas are non-essentials like church traditions and worship style and how loud the music is and how or when you should take communion or how long the pastor should preach. Non-essentials like politics and education and food and drink. And Paul in this chapter is exhorting us to quit playing judge and jury over these non-essentials. Or to put another way, quit with the whole junior Holy Spirit thing as if God's Spirit can't do His job. This is something we all need to hear, including me. Because I've spent nearly half a century in churches and I recognize that we're notorious for not doing well at this. Research even proves that statistically, our churches are known more for being judgmental and critical than loving and kind, which, by the way, is the exact obvious of how people viewed Jesus 2,000 years ago as He walked this earth. The reason that far too often people don't feel valued and accepted in our churches is that we've created our own little Christian subcultures. We develop our own official dress codes and Christianese language and acceptable music and acceptable beverages and acceptable styles of worship, and the list goes on and on and on. And on top of this, we add the confusion that this little Christian subculture isn't even consistent between churches. What one church deems acceptable, another may call unacceptable. Imagine how this feels for outsiders. Well, you don't need to imagine because you felt it. And statistics tell us exactly what it feels like. Judgmental, condemning, and oh so confusing. Which is why one of the 100 one another's that we have in our Bible is this simple but critical command to stop condemning each other when it comes to these gray areas. Stop pretending that you are junior Holy Spirit. Stop putting on the puffy powdered wig and pounding the gavel like some kind of judge. Stop climbing into the jury box and handing down judgments on things that we aren't called to judge. You see, there are areas of freedom in anyone's life which only God has the right to correct, and you and I are told to leave those areas alone. I doubt any of us have this one another down really well. Some of you may do better than others of us. But today, let's move along this learning curve and do better on this one. Today, would you and I live in such a way with one another that we would be known for our love, our compassion, our kindness, our encouragement, and our service?